Hey everyone, and welcome back to Remember This Tech. Today's video we're going to be doing an unboxing of a case. The P101 Antec case. It's a silent guardian, that's how they market this. I'm going to take it out of the box and give it a look over. And mainly what this is geared towards, or who this is geared towards, is a home server case, because it can fit 8 to 10 3.5-inch hard drives, and that's something you don't really see nowadays in a lot of cases. So this is not a small case, and I want to see if it looks like it's easy to fit them all in there, or if it's going to be a nightmare for cabling and fitting those drives in there. And check out the cooling solution. Go from there. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's get this out of the box and check it out. Come on, let's go. Hopefully nothing goes awry. It is quite heavy, as one would expect. Alright, so this case does not have any clear glass sidewall or anything like that. It is not one of those flashy LED cases neither. There are no LEDs on this case, and that's another thing where I didn't want. For airflow, you've got these vents here coming in the front. Not only that, but you open it up and you have a filter here, right here. This is also a secondary filter here that you can remove and clean easy. Well, that's pretty nice. I like that. This is a fine mesh, so you can see through it. We got 3 fans coming in for intake, so I can't vouch for the sound of them and how much sound they make, how noisy they are. At least they have them. It's fairly solid. So I'm just going to do the impossible here, and I am going to tip this up so you can see. Got USB 3.0 USBs up here, and 2, well, I should refer to the manual, but I think 2 2.0s. Why would they put 2.0s? I don't know. But what's really cool is that you have, speaking of cool, a fan speed, slow and fast, which you can adjust the fan speed if it's too noisy. You got a reset and power button and headphone jack, and also microphone jack up top. I'm not going to the back of the case yet. There's also a bottom mesh filter here that is also removable from the bottom of the case. I think I'm doing this easily, but this thing has got to be like 30 pounds at least. The back of the case also sports another large, I think it's 120 millimeter or 140 millimeter fan. A removable plate here for your power supply, which is bottom mounted. A number of I/O cards slots here. And these screws here, screws on the back for the case, doors on the sides, they are thumb screws. They're smaller, but one thing about the bottom power supply plate, having these thumb screws, is that you can take it out, put your power supply on here, mount it on here, and just attach these two, kind of like the Leon Lee case that I showcased in a video before, a little bit while back, and that's pretty convenient. For this side door, it's not one of those ones that you slide off then to the back. It pops off. It's a swing open, and there's sound dampening material in here, and there's these little round pop outs here, and it just pops out. Be aware of that, because it's not a slide off like normal. But it's interesting how they give you sound dampening material, which is uncommon. So hopefully that reduces fan noise and the server noise. So this is the first look for me, first look for you. This is the interior of this case. And I said that they had a lot of 3.5-inch bay storage, and from first glance, it does. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 readily available. And you can get a converter and put another 3.5 up here. There's another slot, you can slide one in here, make another bay. But I think that they provide room on the back side, which we'll check in a minute, for mounting another drive or two, and we'll check that. I kind of like the aesthetic of it. We're gonna pull one of these out. The downfall is that this is plastic. I mean, what do you expect? But they have anti-vibration, kind of like rubber here. And to get it out of there, there's just two clips. You need to press them and pull it out of the bay. And in there, I have found where they stashed the screws and stuff for this case, and we'll look at that in a second as well. For me, what am I going to use this for? It's going to be a home server, file server, storing video files, maybe Plex as well. So yeah, I need hard drives, and I just can't fill it up my computers with 4 terabyte SSD drives. It's not practical. So yes, I still use spinning disks in some cases. Get it? Cases. Anyways, you can fit a full ATX case in here, micro ATX, mini ATX, and extended ATX-E in here. There are pre-populated standoffs here. You can add more off to the sides, which is good. And under here is where you mount your power supply, and I bet you there's 2 more mounting brackets in here, possibly. You got your rear fan, and all the cables for the fans and such are already run underneath and back here. So I am going to pop the back off, and we'll take a look at the back and see how things are routed. Got my 4 terabyte drive here as an example, and there are little posts in this caddy, and this should be a toolless hard drive sled rather, and you just line up the different holes, and there you have it. I mean, it's plastic. I wouldn't go bouncing it around, but it's toolless. So let's put this in and see what we got here. So the drive is here, and you can see, let's zoom in so maybe you can get a better view. Right here, we'll have our SATA connection. And I'm pressing on it, and it's not moving out of the front, so it seems pretty good. I would have liked to see metal caddies, but I think you might be able to replace them or adapt them. And let's get the power supply in and see how much room is on the bottom here. So you can see if you put 10 drives in here, you're going to need right angle connectors to route these correctly. But even if you didn't, you might have clearance, might's a big if, to bend them down and run them down, because the case, you gotta have room to close it properly. So for the power supply test, I got a generic EVGA 500B bronze A+ non-modular cabling, so I can give a test of how it really will work in here or not. And see, you can't put it in this way. You can't. You're gonna have to take off the back plate and slide it in through that way. So cables first. Power supply coming on through. And then I haven't put the back plate on. This is with all of our cables, right? Non-modular, just for our example. Okay, do we have enough room? Well, they provided a lot of space in here. And you're gonna have to route stuff through for the motherboard, of course. And this isn't normal because I'm shoving everything in here unceremoniously, just to show you that if you don't care, there's tons of room in here. If you don't want to care about cable management, then you can just stuff your stuff in here. Wouldn't recommend it, but you can do it. And as far as the drive up here for the hard drive, well, yeah, I would recommend flat 90-degree cables here at least. And then you may be wondering, can we close the case door? Can we with all this mess? But I think that they gave us room to do this. No bulging. There's just enough room to do the job. So, and that's with non-right angled connectors. There's plenty of room if you just kind of lightly move them down like that. Thumbs up. So what do we have in the Antec box? What did they give us? All right, zip ties. Screws for your various connections in here. You know, standoffs for your motherboard. All good stuff. Look at this. This appears to be extra cushioned sticky pad stuff for your bottom of your case and other things that you might need. And what do we have here? Antec. That's kind of useless. And they give you a little information guide booklet, and it tells you things like what I just went over. You got your power supply installation, and it comes in from the back, and how you mount the plate on your power supply and secure it in place, how to remove the fans here and clean that, and you can replace the fans with a liquid cooler for a radiator in case you want to do that for your CPU. How to set up and hook up all the hard drives, and there's the SATAs here you can remove in the front plate. So that, and it goes into the motherboard installation as well, how to put your video card in, but you all know how to do that, right? So my final thoughts on this Antec 101 silent case. Well, we're gonna have to use it, right? That's what I bought it for. It's going to contain the components for my file server, Plex server. The other case that I had was even bigger than this. It's a 922 half. And if you're familiar with that case, it's a beast. Things are falling apart on it, fans are dying, and I just needed a little something smaller. And this is a hair smaller, but it's newer. And it has a better layout for everything in here. And I kind of liked it, so I'll do a follow-up and later on and see how it holds up rather. So if you're interested in this case, I paid $112, $116 for it on Amazon. Sometimes you can get it for lower or higher, but I will put the link in the description below for that and a few other things if you want to check it out. It helps me out. So thanks for watching. Remember this tech.